So from today's episode, I started at the Tweedbank Train Station. So the reason I've done that is, if you're coming from the likes of Edinburgh to the Scottish borders, this is going to give you a great route to start. So it's literally, it's going to be going along the river at Melrose, up the 3 Eildons at Melrose, to Rymer's Stone. There's a great little story that I'll tell you about later on in the video. And then along the wall at Newstead, along that bit of the river, and then back to the station. So after about your first sort of 8 minutes of walking, you've got one road just to keep an eye on that you need to cross just to get to the path that will take you down to the River Tweed, which flows past the town of Melrose. As you can see, that's me getting pretty close to the river already. Oh, it just smells so nice in the fresh air. We have the Bottle Bridge in the distance over there. One of the greatest things about this time of year is all this wild garlic, which I have to admit, I am going to pick some of this because it is absolutely delicious and it's really good to cook with. I'll go a wee bit further from where people walk their dogs. So your key signs is the smell, of course, and you don't want to be taking massive amounts of these leaves. You'll smell it as soon as you pick it up. It smells amazing. You can also eat these flowers, which are part of the plant as well. So here's a set of stairs that takes us down to the rapids at the Melrose part of the River Tweed, which I imagine you'll probably be able to hear by now, and very soon you'll be able to see. I think it's amazing just to think of how much power is in that water, just even at that point with the rapids. So by the time you reach the rapids, you're probably about 1.5 miles into the walk already, and actually probably on the outer perimeter of Melrose. So I'm just passing the Melrose rugby grounds, and if you're planning to come down in April between the 11th and 13th, that's when you'll have the Melrose Sevens. I mean, how many places can have a pitch like that and have a beautiful view of a couple of lovely hills in the background? So this is the Melrose Abbey that I'm coming to now, which you can go inside. You have to pay a fee, which I'm not quite sure what it is, but I will put a link to the fee in the description when I do that. But this is a very famous abbey, because King Robert the Bruce's heart is actually buried in there. So as I'm going up Bigleton Hill in Melrose, you could easily be forgiven for thinking, that's not the way you'll take up there, because you sort of go between a batch of houses and there's a track behind them which takes you up, and there's going to be over 130 stairs there, and you can easily be forgiven for missing the sign which even tells you about it, because I'll turn this around just one second. So you'll see a 20-mile-an-hour sign there. Just above it, it says to the left. You're just thinking to yourself, where could this be with all these houses? And there it is, just hidden down here. So how many of you would have thought that was there, eh? Got a lovely burn running behind these houses as well. So I did tell you there'd be a lot of stairs, so that's me getting up. There's a bit at the middle where you can have a seat and let people pass, but as you see, it's a good wee hike. And in the summer, Melrose actually has a race, and this is part of the route, because they race to the top of one of the hills and then back down. And you'll suddenly see runners jumping through these stairs at a time all the way down to the bottom. Just crazy how they do it. So one thing about this bit I'm walking on just now, you actually quite often get the horses on the Melrose ride out come up this bit. So you have a wee bit of a canter, and the gate's just left open for them at the top, and they'll go around the Eildons to the left side. So on the way I'm going to start this, I'm going to the right. A lovely carved map of Scotland. Nice set of hiking boot and walking poles. Not bad. And not bad for a view. So earlier on in the video, you'll have seen me getting the wild garlic. But another really good thing that you can eat or turn to tea, really good for tea, is the yellow flowers on the gorse. So let's just grab some of that there. Can be just a tiny bit, must make sure no nasties in the flower, but got the choice to go to the left for the North Eildon, or the right for the middle one, which is also the biggest. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go around this to start with. And the reason for that is I'm going to start on the smaller one, come up over the top there, and then go up the North Eildon and then back down the hill that way. And there's a very good reason for that, which I'll explain when I get to that point in the video. I can't actually believe how warm it is though. I know it feels, according to the forecast, it's about 12 degrees. It's a little bit windy, but it's absolutely a glorious day again. I swear, this is probably the best weather we're going to get. The summer's probably just going to be all rain again. Oh, we'll see. Let's hope not. Let's hope not. So when you get here, there's a couple of ways you can look round Eildon. You can go to the right, or you can go down this track here to the left, which is the way I'm going to go, because it takes you, you go down a bit and then we'll turn to the right and there's a bit of woodland. One thing I love when you come on walks like this is this way these trees, which is died, but the structure still looks amazing. Two paths. One I'm wanting is this left one, and this will take me up to the smaller of the three Eildon hills. You might see a few people in the distance. That's where I'm heading. So I can't begin to explain how steep this little bit is. It's definitely pretty steep. Luckily it's not for long though. So that's me at the summit of the first hill. And again, stunning views all around. And that down there, that's Bowden Lock. And to the right, that's the Eildon Hill, the big one. So let's get into that one next. Oh, it's amazing to think that these three hills were volcanoes. So that's me getting near the top of the middle Eildon now. If you look over there, that's the small one that I started on. So the peak of this hill is 1,385 foot above sea level. So I made it. It's very windy, so I'm not going to be able to speak too much up here. Coming down off of this hill, some of it's are quite steep. Off to the North Hill. So that's me nearly at the top of the North Eildon now. See, the sun is still out. And just all those towns in all their glory. Everyone's just looking amazing. That's the small Eildon. That's the big one. As you see, that's me pretty much at the top of the north one. So this way I'm heading here. This is what's going to be taking me down the North Hill. This is why I've deliberately chosen this route, because it just flows so much better. And you'll certainly see that when we get down. Best bit for me now is it's all downhill from here. You can see that. You can see the wall going along here. So this is the area that Roman fort was in. You see the path is a lot better. It's not that horrible loose slatey rubbish. And where I'm heading is down here, and you'll see the green trees over there. There's a path which leads out, so it goes to the right of that house there. And that's where I am heading next. So in the distance you'll see the Black Hill at Eildon, and just below it you'll see Leaderfoot Viaduct. That is the viaduct that was in the latest Indiana Jones film at the start. So if you look at the film and then you go to that bridge, you'll see it. So that was a Dial of Destiny. That's what Indiana Jones that was. So this is me going along that path I was saying, which runs through the trees. And you got all this lovely little burn here running down as well. You'll see here quite a bit of it as well is the sphagnum moss. So this stuff is great if you have a cut or you're bleeding, because it can absorb so much moisture. So if you're bleeding, it'll help stop the bleeding and it'll help capture the blood. But I don't really need that. Great thing is it's a renewable resource as well, so grows in abundance. So once I get to this bit here, like the exit of the hill, there's a path to the left, or road down to the left, or road to the right. The road to the right is where we're going to go, so just keep an eye on traffic. And here is a little bit for you to read. So beware a fair lady on a grey horse. The story of Thomas the Rhymer. It's a really great story. And like I say, if we continue up there, you'll see that stone, and that is where the Rhymer's tree was. So I'm going to go up there very quickly, and then, because this route here to the left, that's the route I'm going to take to start getting back towards Tweedbank. It's going to take me to a town called Newstead. And here we go. This is where the tree used to exist. This stone marks the site of the Eildon tree, where legend says Thomas the Rhymer met the Queen of the Fairies. You will hear road noise because you are going to be pretty much right beside the bypass. But the good thing about the bypass is that there's an underground bit to walk, so you can safely get to the other side. So you don't need to worry about that if you're doing this route. This is me at the bypass bit now. So you will see, it definitely is busy. And if you were feeling really brave, you could try and cross the road. But this is the path I was on about that goes down here. A far safer option. So after following that path, it takes me to sort of like a fork in the road. So there's a left way to take me up the southern upland way. Or if I go to the right, that's going to take me on the road for a little bit. But I know a bit where it'll take me down by the river, just up ahead. So this is me just starting to go down the route that'll take me to the River Tweed, starting from Newstead. So it'll say private parking and all that for residents. But as soon as you start heading down, it's going to take you to the really nice bit. And then it's a really good walk all the way back to Melrose and then to Tweedbank. So one thing I was just seeing this walk as well, there's nice picnic benches there if you want to stop with some friends. An old shed thing there. Some unusual things in there. Pretty cool though, pretty cool. Oh, it's definitely a great place to have a picnic here if you've got a group of you. So you probably get about 14-16 people there if you all sat nicely. And here we are at the river itself, looking beautiful. So as you'll see, we're actually getting along this river now, but that's the two islands that you can see. So the north one at the front, and it kind of shows you how far this distance is. And during the Melrose festive week, one of the other great things you get to see around about this point, just a little bit further on the bend, is where the horses do the river crossing. So as long as the weather's good, you can get 150, 250 horses going through that bit of river. So it's actually quite good to watch. So if you look that up for Melrose festive week, the ride out's always on the Monday. Definitely worth a look if you've not seen it before. And one other cool thing about this bit of the location is you can actually walk along the wall as well here. So get here, and it's up to you if you want to walk the path or if you want to walk along the wall. Whoever had this idea definitely had a good one, but if you've got a slight fear of heights, maybe don't do it. But just look at that, how cool is that? part of the walk, that's me just coming up to the Chain Bridge, which is a beautiful bridge. If you can read the bit up the top there where it says it was opened on the 26th of October 1826. So it's a really old structure. The bridge itself has been replaced since then, but I don't know if you can see that sign which says not more than 8 persons should be on the bridge at one time. Passengers requested not to cross the bridge in heavy gale. And you can't see this sign, but on the other side of that it does talk about if you're breaking the rules there's a £2 fine. So you'll probably recognise this bit from earlier on. So that's me already been on the go for over 5 hours now. So as you see, still sunny, still lovely. How, I don't know, but I ain't going to complain. I'm loving it right now, absolutely loving it. Right everyone, after 5 hours and 20 minutes, that's me back at the train station. So one thing I'd also say to anybody who wants to do this, who's coming down the train, Monday to Saturday they're every half an hour, on a Sunday they're only every hour. So I'd probably recommend you come down on a Saturday if you're coming down at the weekend. It'll make it a lot easier for yourself. So I hope you've enjoyed the video today. It's definitely a good walk. It's just coming at over 10 miles, literally. So I'm very happy at that. I think anybody who tries the route will love it. You definitely will have a level of fitness before you do that though. So thanks for watching again.